step alone, and I tell you what, she is a track star when it comes to finishing in the open court.
Underway in a battle of greens as Deja Kelly and the Ducks have the ball. Ducks have struggled a bit on the road, only 4 games on the road. They've split them, going 2-2. A win today would be the win of the season for them. They did beat Baylor earlier in the year when Baylor was ranked 12, but Baylor has fallen. This would now be the current highest ranked opponent they'd have a win over.
You see the scramble defense there by Michigan State. They were switching up top.
They go inside to Philly Che, the senior from Canada, who is 6'8" and looks all of it. That's a near force turnover, but it'll stay with MSU.
Philly Che, she is inside at 6'8". Okay, and she is going to challenge the defensive discipline on the interior by Michigan State.
It's a great sign for Oregon if they can go into Che early and get buckets. Meanwhile, here's Julia Ayrault, the leading scorer for MSU.
Oregon in a man-to-man defense here, and Michigan State trying to get them in rotation.
The red-hot Halleck has the ball, finds Ayrault in the corner. Halleck hounded by Deja Kelly. That's a really tough shot and an air ball. Here come the Ducks the other way.
Really deep into the shot clock. Really good defensive discipline there by Oregon.
Peyton Scott, a little runner. Fight for the ball. Ooh. And there's our first whistle of the game. It's going to be on Peyton Scott. Well, Kelly Graves has not only coached against Michigan State previously, he actually also played against them. I was talking to him this morning. He was at New Mexico back when he played college ball. MSU came down, Judd Heathcote and company. He bragged that he held Scott Skiles to only 25 points. And I was laughing at that. And he goes, no, don't you remember how good Skiles was? And I looked it up. He averaged 27 a game that year. So he had a right.
And how many assists? Because Scott Skiles was a dime dropper, right? He was sending that ball all over the place. But Kelly Graves, one of the best in the business. It's his 11th season at Oregon. 236 wins for the Ducks and his 28th overall season as a head coach. Over 600 wins, 618 to be exact for him.
Little pump fake into drive. That's some great defense by the Spartans. Julia Ayrault with the block. One of the many things that the 6'2" grad senior can do.
Well, Julia Ayrault, she's a Swiss Army knife. Don't bring that in there straight to her. You got to show her the ball, get her in the air, and get to her chest.
Philly Che found all alone in the paint. She's got 4 early points.
Yeah, misdirection on that out-of-bounds underplay. And that gets Oregon in there. 1-2-2, three-quarter court defense. But they want to set up, trying to slow the pace of Michigan State down.
Theron Halleck short on the shot. Deja Kelly the other way.
Deja Kelly, a transfer from North Carolina, broadcast major.
Finds the free throw line and scores, and that's a great sign for the Ducks. They repeated to me earlier today at the shoot-around, basically the morning practice, how much they needed early field goals from Deja Kelly, because if she scores early, she gets in a rhythm, and then she is dangerous offensively.
Yeah.
Well, Robin Falick, she wasn't born yesterday. I mean, she was. She literally was born. Her birthday was yesterday, which is so fascinating also when you remember today is Tom Izzo, the Michigan State men's coach's birthday. He turned 70 today. She very much so did not turn 70. The team celebrated, had cake with her. They wore party hats. Looking for another big win this season. She's done marvelous in her year and a half here in East Lansing.
And her kids did a marvelous job with their gift giving for her birthday yesterday as well. Very sweet.
Ball will stay here with Michigan State. That was Inez Sotelo, a freshman on the drive, and keep an eye on her. She's really started to impress. This is her 8th straight game she has started as a freshman. They love the fact that she's growing confident. Her confidence is growing, I should say, every single game.
Oh, man.
Grace Van Sluten, the former Oregon Duck, flies in for the rebound, but her former team is coming the other way, trying to build on their early 6-0 lead.
Big block down inside, and again, you can't take it straight up over players who have a size advantage on the interior. Got to get them off the ground, show them the ball. They're ravenous for that. Miscue inside there.
Kelly's pass far too high, which is saying something when it's going to a 6'8" Philly Che.
No question. Philly Che stands 6'8". She's a left-handed player down in there, so that's even more crafty in terms of how you're going to defend her and what you're trying to take away.
No points for the Spartans early on, which is a bit of a surprise when you see that they're the second best scoring team in the Big Ten, averaging 82 a contest.
Well, they haven't gotten the pace, right? You haven't seen them in the open floor, and I think that's what gets them going. That starts the engine for them. And then their discipline in the quarter court pays it off.
Van Sluten decides I might as well get us on the board. She's got her first 2 points of the game. Mentioned she played 2 years at Oregon, and she's putting up some great numbers this year despite far less minutes.
She has been very effective and efficient, shooting over 54% this season from the floor.
They find Che again, immediately gets a double team. 5 to shoot, and there's a whistle on the Spartans.
Yeah, and that's what we have to keep an eye on. Philly Che, she's going to see a lot of different looks defensively. When is that double team going to come? Is it going to come on the catch? Is it going to come on that first dribble to the deck? And where is it coming from? That one came from the weak side. I don't think she was expecting that.
Here's a good look for Peyton Scott, and I'm telling you, the 2 players they most wanted to get early buckets were Deja Kelly and Peyton Scott. Scott's the grad senior transfer from Miami of Ohio. They desperately want her to hit some threes in this game. That's really been the only weakness Oregon has, that's sort of a glaring weakness. They have such a hard time hitting threes.
Yeah, you know, you're looking at what Peyton Scott was able to do in that Indiana game and their big comeback. They were down by 10 points in the fourth quarter. She had 14 points during that stretch, made all 4 of her shots from the floor.
Another turnover, and the Ducks are running, but look out for the speedy Theron Halleck, who gets a fast break opportunity and takes it away from the Ducks.
Well, that's what they need, right? It's not just her offense in transition. It's the defensive hustle in transition that pays off. Look at the wheels on Theron Halleck right there saying, no easy buckets out here. I'm going to get down here and disrupt you and get a deflection and have you reset it underneath. And that takes guts. Theron Halleck, she's been playing at an effective clip. Last 3 games, 22 points per contest for her. Her dad played football here, so great athlete DNA for Halleck.
Oregon's had to come back in their last 2 games for victories, but they have an early lead in this one, and it continues to grow. Amina Muhammad scores. This is a marvelous start for Kelly Graves and company. They lead 11-2 and almost force another turnover.
Yeah, Muhammad with the Sigma move, right? Look that up. You were talking about looking things up. That's 8 paint points right now for Oregon early, and that's exactly what Kelly Graves told us this morning at shoot-around that they wanted to do. Go straight to the rack and finish.
Michigan State's missed 5 of their 6 field goal attempts. Drive the lane, and that shot's no good for Nyla Hampton. Ducks the other way. Scott to Kelly. Muhammad can't get it to go, and Emma Shoemate checks into the game and gets an early board. And if you're noticing a lot of players have been called, that's because both teams roll really deep.
Yes.
You will see plenty of fresh legs throughout the day, like the legs of Jocelyn Tate, who hits one for Michigan State, just their 2nd field goal of the day.
A lot of experience in the bag for Tate. Coming to Michigan State, following her coach, Robin Freilich here. She understands the assignment, the philosophy, and the culture that has been established in Robin Freilich's 2nd season here at the helm for the Spartans.
Scott loses it. Here comes Shoemate. Spartans have a 3-on-2 break. Hampton inside, popped away by Mevius.
Really good interior defense. I was going to say you want to stay loose, but right there she just let go and pulled the chair. Got a turnover anyway.
Mevius to Muhammad, who's got a lot of early looks, and that's why. Her 2nd field goal. She's got 4, and this Spartan crowd is completely out of per game, and we're going to see how much those Spartans can live up to it. They've already had 8 players play in just the first 6 minutes and 9 seconds of action, but they haven't found any offense yet. How are they going to find some right now?
Well, they have to play with some composure. They're trying to reset the clock here. It's a stoppage of play. But they have to play with some composure. You see Oregon's trying to take away their 1st and 2nd actions in the quarter court. And they're doing a good job of getting 2nd chance points, right? And right now Michigan State is 2 for 8 from the floor. They're taking contested shots. That's exactly what Oregon wants. Now they have to do what they want to do, right? They're going deep into the shot clock, so be more deliberate. And I'm not saying take the first shot available.
Right.
Make the defense work. Get to the 2nd side and then attack with some dribble drives. They're just staying kind of around the horn, and then now you're in grenade mode where you have 5-4-3 and you have to take a tough shot right there.
Still working on the clock issues. The shot clock doesn't seem to be working. Now they've got it set back to 25 for them. And something to keep in mind, too, when we asked Robin Freilich about the key to owning the pace in this game, the first thing she said was rebounds.
Yes.
We've got to get rebounds. And they're getting out-rebounded right now early on. There's Grace Van Slooten doing just what you said, driving the lane, but couldn't get it to go. Yeah,
but you see what you can get, right? And even if she missed that, that's an opportunity that they can get from that kind of spacing in the quarter court on the offensive end.
Fresh feed in for the Ducks. Number 4, Nani Falatea brought the ball up. Sophia Bell is in the corner on the bottom of your screen.
Hard hedge there by Michigan State.
There's a turnover. Halleck puts her hands up, turns on the speed, drives the lane. No, but will head to the free throw line.
Yeah, really good defensive discipline by Michigan State. They stayed in the gap. They were working on that earlier today in shoot around. They like to hard hedge and then rotate hard on that weak side. Halleck right there and gets downhill in the open floor. And Halleck, she has just done a tremendous job this season of commanding respect with the way that she plays the game.
Well, especially those last 3 games. 3 in a row, she scored 26 points, 17 points, 25 points. She's been doing it from deep. The 3 ball's been moving. The staff talks about how they moved her off the 1 position so they could let her kind of find more open looks the last 3 games. And it's worked, although she does take a breather right now, and Jaden Simmons comes in.
Yeah, but I love that, right? It takes a lot of pressure. And then you have, on the other end, Peyton Scott now with 2 fouls sitting down for Oregon. We'll see what that does to the cadence of the offense for the Ducks.
Devious drives the lane, but is denied. It'll stay with Oregon.
Oh, it's been a block party here in East Lansing. You thought you got by? Nope. Oh, my goodness. Van Slooten said, no, we're not doing that today. Both teams with 2 big blocks, disallowing easy looks at the rim.
Falatea feeds inside. That's Sarah Rambis, and she is a Michigan native. If she scores, you will hear some cheers. She's got a ton of folks in attendance. Instead, it's another block, and the Spartans get a chance to come the other way. Sotelo, too strong from deep. There have been a lot of one-and-dones for Michigan State.
And that's what I said they shouldn't do, right? Those quick shots. Because then you don't have your offensive rebounding opportunities because no one understands when that shot is going up. It's too fast. Now we're not in there to get a second or third crack at it.
Julia Aralt commits the foul.
It's Michigan State switching on that block-to-block screen that Oregon was setting there on that baseline, out of bounds.
Kelly from the left elbow, and the rebound to Hampton.
Well, that's her wheelhouse. That's where Deja Kelly loves to attack, right there in that mid-range.
Aralt has yet to score in this game and loses the ball. Stepped out of bounds.
Yeah, I just tried to force the issue there along that baseline and maybe be a step above the block so you give yourself some space along that baseline.
Well, here's some pressure from MSU, and it does indeed immediately force a turnover.
What Robin Freilich wants to do, she's going to show a lot of different looks schematically on the defensive end in the full court. Sometimes they just will run a containment press just to slow you down. But sometimes they'll blitz and rotate like that. It's a plus 8.7 turnover ratio. Both teams right now with 4 miscues.
Aralt stops and pops, still scoreless.
But good looks. I mean, I like that look for her in the mid-range. Pulling up.
Rambis on Sotelo. She not only scores, but is headed to the line. And again, there are plenty of people here watching this Flint, Michigan native. We were told 29 of the team's tickets went to just her friends and family today.
And they saw all 2 of these points go down and looking for 3. Really nice, smooth move on that turnaround jumper. It was heavily contested. The sophomore from Flint, Michigan.
Asked her, so 29 people are coming? She said, oh no, a lot more than that. Those are just the tickets that I was able to get.
And I saw the signs for Flint, Michigan. Not too far away at all from here.
In fact, their next game is on the road Sunday at Michigan, so she's going to have a bunch of folks at that one as well. Some crisp passing for the Spartans, but Simmons can't get it to go, and MSU is shooting around 15% from the floor.
Yeah, they're not getting to the offensive boards like they would like to. Only 2 offensive rebounds right now for the Spartans.
Kelly to Rambis. The high off the glass shot is good.
She had to take that one high off the top of that window to get that one to go. The rotational defense not there in time.
Boy, is Rambis having a great day to have a great day.
Great deflection and steal. Now they're going the other way.
This is an open look for Sophia Bell. What a marvelous start for the Ducks.
How about that? Made both of their threes out of the gates here. That's what Kelly Graves said. You just haven't been able to knock in our threes. We've had good looks because we asked him at practice, is it bad looks or just not falling? He says they're just not falling, but they are today.
Van Sluten stops an 8-0 run.
Michigan State needed that bucket to kind of quell that big momentum swing. And now can they get a couple of consecutive stops down here? Carry some momentum into the next quarter.
About 4 seconds different between shot and game. Nobody's in the bonus here.
Robin Freilich said they had to have great discipline in the pick and roll situations. They're looking for maybe a ball screen there.
Previous to Rambis. MSU's going to get the last shot of the quarter. Hampton to Aralt. Keep in mind, the last game Oregon played, it has been all green and yellow early on at the Breslin Center. In fact, the Ducks gave up only 8 points to Michigan State in the first 10 minutes. That is the lowest scoring quarter for MSU all year at home.
Yeah, well, that's what Kelly Graves said. He told us today, he said our defense is the personality. That's the culture that we've created here for this season's team. Every year is different.
Robin Freilich changes up the lineup here. Number 35, Kennedy Blair, checks into the game. She's a redshirt freshman.
Well, Kelly Graves, his team this year in conference play, only giving up 58 points to opponents. Right, you're talking about this high-powered Michigan State team that wants to get easy buckets in transition. They cooled that off in that first quarter for sure.
Falatea on the drive. It's good.
They are challenging the rotational defense on those straight-line drives inside and dominating the paint. That's exactly what Kelly Graves said they wanted to do. It's a 16-2 advantage in paint points right now for the Ducks.
Right. It started early. They started feeding Philly Che the first 3 or 4 possessions. Getting some on drives here. Tate with an awkward, I mean, so many of these shots from Michigan State are not even great looks right now.
No, they're well contested. Feet are where they need to be, squared up with a high stick hand right in their shot pocket. It makes it tough to keep your same mechanics when you have a hand right there.
Van Sluten finds a slicing Jaden Simmons for the first points for them in this second quarter.
Well, Michigan State needs more of that, right? Better off-ball movement and some ball screens as well. I'm talking about the straight line drives, but you got to get those after you get a touch of the paint and spray outs and then attack those closeouts. Get to those hips.
Nevius had to pick up her dribble, and here's Grace Van Sluten with the steal and the stroll.
And that's Michigan State basketball, right? Steal and score. Get it off the glass and get those push-ahead opportunities with a quick pass. But she was right there in that passing lane with the outside hand to tip it to herself and push.
Sarah Rambis, a Michigan native. Can't get that mid-range to fall, and Halleck is running.
Oh.
Finds Jocelyn Tate. You okay over there?
She was just dancing with the stars right there for a second. I had to clutch my pearls for a second, have my collarbone.
Just making sure a bee didn't sting you or something. Where did that O come from?
Hey, right here, great defensive attention to detail. Shoot the gap. Get the deflections. Push it ahead to yourself and get the easy deuce in the open court. 4 fast break points right now for Michigan State. I know they want to double that.
Absolutely.
But you got to do that with defense.
As good as anybody in the Big Ten at getting fast break points, but it's been so hard for them early on. Look at this passing from Oregon. Couldn't finish by Muhammad. Alex running again.
I thought Muhammad could have come down with that pump fake and then put it back up, go to the chest.
There's the redshirt freshman. Shot offline. Again, the rebounding has not been there. Their Spartans are getting out-rebounded by Oregon now. But another turnover. Tate hops in front of the pass.
But can you pay it off? Michigan State now 5 of 20 from the floor. Just not finding the bottom of the net. And give credit where credit is due. Oregon is making it very difficult for them.
Another block. Philly J. We've seen so many of the blocks in this game.
Absolutely. Oregon playing some staunch defense, especially right here. Billy J, she says, no way. Got that one out of bounds with that left hand. She's a left-hander.
That is 6 combined blocks in this game in just 13 minutes of action. Here comes Falatea.
High ball screen.
Muhammad on Aralt. Aralt with the block. Let's keep him coming.
I love it. I'm here for it all. Both sides. Great blocks. But you have to have great anticipation and good body balance. You can't touch the body or the hand. And she did a great job. Exceptional. Staying vertical and getting a smooth block right there on the defensive end.
Aralt has struggled offensively early on in this game, but she's doing her best defensively to pick up the slack. Che to Muhammad. Tough way to corral the ball, keep her balance, and score off the glass.
What a dart of a cut from the nail by Muhammad. And Philly J, what a great awareness piece that she possessed there out of the double team.
Halleck wants a 3. Michigan State can't have a 3. Aralt puts it back up and in.
There she is, Julia Aralt. She's had some big blocks in this game. It's time for her to get some buckets too. Offensive rebounding 101 right there. Catch it high, keep it high, and put it right back up. No dribble necessary. You see a lot of middle school kids here. Need to be watching that.
Graduate senior makes it a 3-point play. She averages 16 points a game, but those are the first 3 she's had.
And she had to work for him, right? 2-2-1 by Michigan State after that made free throw by Aralt.
I think there might be another issue with the clock here. It was stuck at 29, even though more than 1 second had come across. So they've adjusted that.
Going back to Julia Aralt, I mean, 8 rebounds for her on average coming into this game. I mean, she is a workhorse and just brings that high level of experience and expertise to the floor in terms of how hard you need to work for every possession.
Here's how impressive what Oregon's doing is. The Spartan opponents have been averaging 24.8 points in the first half at Breslin this season. They've already surpassed that with more than 6 minutes to go.
Yeah, and they've been very disciplined on the offensive side. Look at this now, ISO game on the interior.
Che travels. Great defense by Aralt. Man, that's the thing. She is so valuable to this Spartan team. She is their leading scorer. She is their leader in made threes. She is their leader in rebounds. But the little things defensively that Aralt can do.
Well, this is what we saw at practice today, right? Philly Che just got sped up. She stood her ground in there. Julia Aralt forcing the turnover.
Tate on Che. What a move!
I was talking about, you know, Dance with the Stars earlier, but wow, basketball 101 in the paint. Downstairs by Tate.
Falatea lets a 3 fly, and Oregon is perfect from deep. They've hit all 3 threes.
Falatea, 39% shooter from range. Paid that one off nicely.
Tate tries to answer. Rebound falls to Ari Long. That's travel on Long. I tell you, the thing about threes, Christy, is this is a team that has struggled with threes when they lose. So the fact that they're 3 for 3 right now is another great sign for Kelly Graves.
Well, the script has been flipped because Oregon has been knocking in triples in this game. 3 for 3 so far for the Ducks.
The Spartans have yet to hit one, and look how different this is from the season. They have really struggled hitting threes on the road. Whistle on Che. That'll be her first. Still an 11-point lead for Oregon. They're sitting here with a 15-5 record, and what a turnaround for Oregon. Remember, they were 11-12 last year, last place in the Pac-12, but this season is much more what we're used to from a Kelly Graves squad.
Yeah, no question about it. 6-3 in conference play as well. Just doing their due diligence on the defensive end, and that will change things exponentially for you. Get those stops.
Yeah, there's a bunch of people down on the ground. They're going to call an offensive foul on Ahisa Tute of Oregon.
Well, Jocelyn Tate was doing the two-step down in the...
And then look at the women behind my right shoulder. Oh, my.
Oh, man. Listen, that's like the...
I see you, Sparty.
I have nothing. You had nothing on.
Let me just be crystal clear. The duck wouldn't do that to me.
Oh,
you hear me,
see?
Sparty?
Uh-oh.
You hear me?
A little chit-chat going on over here.
Not afraid of those muscles, fella.
That's so funny.
Ayrault can't hit, and here comes Oregon the other way. They're perfect from deep. Can that continue? It cannot. First miss comes off the hands of Alexis Whitfield. That'll be out of bound, Michigan State ball.
Almost 2/3 of the points for Oregon right now have come down in the painted area, and I know that we've been talking about that, but that was one of the most explicit keys that Kelly Graves had in his approach to this game here on the road against Michigan State.
Julia Ayrault with only 3 points. Theron Halleck with only 2. Leading scorers for MSU have had a hard time finding the bucket, but Grace Van Sluten trying to create, and yet it's another one and done.
And she is just so slithery there along that baseline, trying to get that reversal to go.
Deja Kelly creating and scoring.
That's exactly where she wants to go. Deja Kelly wants to go right to that B1G logo and pull up on each of the letters. It doesn't matter which side. She's going to go right there with the 1-2 dribble pull-up. That is her wheelhouse.
Van Sluten swings it over. Nyla Hampton gets the first three-pointer for Michigan State after they missed their first 5 attempts from deep.
You're on to the next play. You have to have amnesia what happened previously. You're on to the next. Be where your feet are. And stay focused on the next play. And that's what Michigan State has done well here in the second quarter.
Spartan crowd wanted an over and back. They didn't get it there. Muhammad has the ball, single digits to shoot. Falatea's pass, too low for Muhammad, and another turnover. That's the 10th that Oregon has committed. Now, there's a history of Oregon stopping the best Big Ten scorer. Sarah Williams was held only 3 points. Cody McMahon had 6 against the Ducks. Lucy Olson 4. Yarden Garzone had a decent game compared to what everybody else did, but still was held almost half of her average. And right now, they're holding Julia Ayrault, who averages 16 a game, to only 3.
How about that? And look at the score, right? Michigan State has only made 3 of their last 11. Well, now 3 of their last 12 field goals. So give credit to the defensive energy and attention to the scouting report that Kelly Graves and his staff set forth for this game. Doing exactly what they need to do to be disruptive.
Hampton on Mevius. Feed inside to Che, and there's Halleck trying to create havoc. And there's a whistle on the rebound. It'll be on the Ducks. It'll be on Muhammad.
Yeah, and again, we're going to see a myriad of coverages down inside. And right there, you saw Michigan State disallowing an easy touch on the interior for Philly Che.
By the way, 11 different Ducks have played, and that's not a surprise. They have 12 players that average 9 minutes a game or more.
Yeah, and that's the beauty of teamwork. Everyone come in and star in your role. That's how we keep this train moving.
Hampton on the drive. Che with the board. Oregon has 6 more rebounds than Michigan State does.
Yeah, they're getting straight to the rack. They're doing a great job of maintaining their contact on box outs. And when they don't have the box outs, they're doing a great job of following the shot and getting where they know it's coming off.
Whitfield gets a nice pass and finishes inside for her first points.
There's a face cut from the weak side, and you just can't have that happen. This ball you man mentality on defense. You got to beat him to the spot.
Well, coming up, stick around for the All-State halftime report. Autumn Johnson is going to reveal her latest bracket forecast. Plus, Chrissy and I recap the first half. It might feel early, but remember, we're basically at the end of January. Once you're in February, it is technically legal to talk about bubbles and brackets. We've played enough of the season. You are allowed to do it.
Flip the calendar.
95 seconds left in the first half. A 3-ball is good. That's Sophia Bell, the sophomore from Portland.
Yeah, that one was smooth as butter, that corner pocket triple.
I want to be clear, this Oregon team is the worst three-point shooting team percentage-wise. They make 29% of their threes. They are 4 of 5. That's 80% from deep in the first.
Well, what's happening there is the defense is sinking in because they're dominating also in the paint with 22 paint points.
Theron Halleck had enough of that. Her first 3. Second of the game for the Spartans.
And they need more of that kind of balance that Oregon has presented on the offensive end. Right, you dominate on the inside, and now things are easier on the outside on those pitch-out passes and those spray-out threes, those paint threes. And Oregon is finding a nice mix of both right now in this first half.
Deja Kelly. Oh, it's swatted away by Hampton. Another block.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, my. She climbed the ladder for that one and sent it back. You hear me? Oh, my.
You want defensive intensity? This is the game for you.
I love it.
3-second difference between shot and game. Spartans are in the bonus. 3 to shoot. Tate loses it.
Oh, wow.
Heaves up an awkward shot. And that's going to be an offensive foul. They've decided there is nothing more than a regular offensive foul. So with 3.4, the Ducks will inbound.
Yeah, I agree with that call.
Mevius is just going to let the clock go away. But I tell you what, truly an impressive first half. Fans to feel good about. For example, the previous low in the first half was 29 at Michigan.
Yes.
And what happened? They had a massive comeback in that game, which started with them getting 15 unanswered points. And right off the bat, Theron Halleck with a steal to get a little bit of momentum on the side of the green and white.
There you go. That's what it's all about. Who is going to be the tougher team on the defensive end? Who's going to get deflections? So straight out of the gate, Theron Halleck says, it's going to be me. I'm going to get the steal on the first possession, get a deflection and get myself to the line and get us activated and get our offense in the rhythm and flow that we like and the pace of play that we need.
And if you look at that game, look how different it was. 59 points in that second half. Again, a 15-0 run to not only take the lead, but solidify their game. And Halleck was the one who was the star of it all. She had 23 second-half points in their last game.
Yeah, she was in the gaps and creating those offensive opportunities in that way.
Oh, my. It's another forced turnover, and that's going to be Spartan ball.
Back-to-back turnovers by Oregon, and now you're feeling the wrath of them not playing with this level of fire and effectiveness on defense in that first half.
And when I asked their staff what was different in that game against Michigan in the second half, they said 2 things. Defense, which we've just seen, and threes. I'll be curious if we see them try to get a look from deep early on.
Yeah, I mean, I was at that game, and I saw the tide just turn because of their defense, and it was Halleck, yes, but everyone else was right where they needed to be.
They did look for a 3 right there. It was Inez Sotelo. It's far too strong, and Oregon the other way. Che back to Muhammad. No bucket, but she'll head to the line.
Well, they have found some really good operation space on that dart cut.
Remember, this is a Michigan State team that is so good at getting points off turnovers because they force turnovers. Now, they've done okay. They've already forced 12 Oregon turnovers. That's good, but the points off turnovers are not there. Only 10 right now.
Right, and it's because they're dead ball turnovers. And if you flip to the other side, Oregon in that first half, they forced 8 turnovers, which is obviously less, but they scored 13 points off of those. Okay, so those are different kinds of turnovers, even though they're not a copious amount when you're talking about that 8 turnovers that they forced, but they scored off of those. So they got those open court opportunities that Michigan State craves.
Van Sluten against her former team. This is Simmons with 10 to shoot. Halleck trying to create. Cannot find Van Sluten. Muhammad has the ball. The Ducks have it the other way.
Good rotation on that weak side by Oregon.
Peyton Scott. Oh, another swat. And then a whistle after the fact.
Van Sluten Had some airtime right there just waiting.
We've had 9 blocks in this game.
Well, look at this one right here. Both of them had great hang time, but Van Sluten just a little too lanky with those long arms. Got a piece of that big block up top.
Michigan State has not lost at home all year. They're 10-0. Tie up, it'll stay with Oregon.
And then the space is being taken away on the interior by Michigan State. And that's what post players want. They want that space. They want to be able to move their feet and rip and go and get that drop step going, and they're taking that away.
Hayden Scott with an open look. The grad senior delivers.
She's just so tough. She's the heart and soul of their defense. That's what Kelly Graves told us today at shoot-around. She can also get a bucket, averaging just under 11 points per game.
Michigan State loses it. Mevius, the lay-in.
Another open court opportunity for Oregon off stops. This is Simmons right there, almost losing the handle.
Scott knocks it away. It'll stay here. This is the largest lead of the game now, with Oregon up by 15.
Now 5-0 run, and it was activated and ignited with their defense in the open floor yet again, and pay it off easy on the other side. Just tie a bow on it.
You know what's interesting? There have been only 5 free throw attempts for Michigan State. And the reason I bring that up, they're one of the 10 best teams in the country at shooting free throws. Van Sluten gets the free throw line. It counts for 2 for them. But that's something that they're so good at, and we've barely seen that in this game.
Right. I mean, that was the proper read by Van Sluten right there, not taking it all the way over the top of 6'8".
Deja Kelly makes it 5 3-pointers for the Ducks.
I mean, that has been the difference maker for Oregon in this game. And I know Kelly Graves, he's over there clapping, saying that's the way we need to get our offense going.
At the morning practice, the shoot-around, he talked time and time again about, we're just not hitting threes.
Right.
We've just got to hit threes. It was so important to them. They're 83% from deep right now.
Right. It was almost like the pink elephant in the room. They don't want to keep saying it and then, you know, have the players be, oh gosh, we just really need to get some of them to fall and be desperate and not taking good rhythm threes. But in this game, they have been playing with great rhythm and flow.
Van Sluten, little Euro step. Che with the board.
Right now, 5 of 6 from range is Oregon. See Deja Kelly just trying to reorganize in the quarter court. Plenty of time trying to get a good look. Trying to get a high ball screen going.
Nani Falatea on the drive. And here comes Arel up ahead to the speedy Halleck. The pass is too far ahead for her to do anything with it, and then she loses it out of bounds. She wanted a foul on Kelly, not going to get it.
I'll tell you what, even though she turned it over there, that pass by Julia Arel, push ahead. Right there, she mishandled it and just lost the handle. Is going to have her number 22 raised to the rafters in that one, and that is going to be a spectacular show.
I was talking with the Oregon coach, Kelly Graves, about Kaylin. He said, I actually recruited her pretty hard. I went to Des Moines 3 different times. We think we were basically in her final 3 teams. But if I was telling you I thought she'd be that good, I'd be lying. I knew she'd be good. I didn't know she'd be Caitlin Clark. That's Philly Che inside with 2 more. She's having a nice game for them, averaging only 7 points a contest. She's up to 6 right now.
Michigan State only 46 bench points so far.
This is a Spartan team that scored 80 points in 3 straight games and 5 of their last 6, but they are having such a hard time putting the ball through the rim. Arel can fix that with a 3-pointer, just the 3rd of the game for MSU.
Needed that. And 46 minutes. I'm going to correct that. 46 minutes for the bench, so they need someone to come alive on the offensive end.
An air ball.
That depth is a big factor for them.
Arel catches the air ball. Halleck up ahead. Oregon's done a nice job. Even when there's been opportunities for Michigan State to run, they're kind of quelling that before it gets anywhere. And Sluten with a tough, awkward shot around Che. Che is really making an impact in this game. Her numbers are incredible. You can see how hard it is for Michigan State to drive when number 15 is in there.
It's her presence at 6'8". I mean, she's taking up the entire painted area when she puts those long arms out. She has one hand on one lane line and the other hand on the other. I mean, she's shooting 57% coming in to this game, but it's her defensive presence and discipline and being where she needs to be, up the line. And up the line is right underneath that basket. And she's taking up space in there, disallowing shots and disrupting rhythm in there.
Jay comes from Canada. Didn't start playing ball till high school when her family moved from Ghana to Canada. They had a pretty big impact on this team, and they love being able to get her involved, which she does right there with another rebound.
But to your point about what Kelly Graves was talking about with us this morning, he said that, you know, defensive transition is going to be at the top of the list on the whiteboard in the locker room, as well as getting threes down, and they've done both of those exceptionally well so far in this one.
6 to shoot for Kelly. Scott will drive. Tough shot. She gets it to go.
Yeah, her hang time is really, really spectacular to watch. And she knew that second line could be coming over there and waited for them to get their 10 toes on the ground. And she was still rising for that shot.
Better than 50% shooting for the visiting team. Aralt in trouble. Falatea knocks it off of Tate.
Right.
That'll be Oregon ball, and it felt like there was a chance for MSU to open this habit this morning. As you see, Deja Kelly is one of the players who's been hitting threes. He said when they were struggling with threes, he showed his team that famous tin cup scene where they talk about all the superstitions, and he even gave the team visors and golf tees that they had to put it behind their ears, and they double knotted their shoes. He'd show them all the things they did in the movie. Then as he's telling this, he takes a deep breath and goes, "It didn't help."
Maybe they watched it before this game.
Maybe it just needed to marinate, right? Because it is working today. 71% from deep for the Ducks.
Yeah, they're locked in from range in this game, and you know, sometimes you have to get creative.
There's Jocelyn Tate with a steal. An awkward shot goes. That's Nyla Hampton. She's heading to the line for a different type of three-point play.
Well, now can Michigan State stack those kinds of possessions, right? Getting steal and score opportunities has been what they've done well all season long. 6 fast break points. 6 fast break opportunities for 8 points after that one.
Van Sluten cleans up the miss. It turns out it's a 4-point play, and the press is on again.
And that's what they need to do. They're not getting to the offensive boards, right? So make shots, and now you can put on that pressure and try to get some more turnovers forced.
That is 4 fouls now on Jocelyn Tate. Robin Freilich is not happy with the whistles right now, but Tate stays in the game.
Yeah, as I'm saying, a lot of trust leaving her on the floor here in the third quarter with those 4 fouls.
Check that, it's 3.
Okay.
Falatea drills the three-pointer.
Entire bench for Oregon is up after that triple. She said when the Commanders defeated the Detroit Lions, it was a tough day to walk into practice because of that.
By the way, there's some confusion if Jocelyn Tate has 3 or 4 fouls. That's obviously a big deal. So
Absolutely.
Right now the stats say 4. We'll get you an update on that. Meanwhile, Grace Van Sluten is trying to take things over by herself. She's up to 12 points.
Yeah, trying to maximize the connection of the dots there, the assist numbers. You were talking about how invaluable they would be for Michigan State. And that was a great drop off to the weak side for the completion of the play on that last possession.
Ooh, look at this Michigan State defense. That is, guess who? Jocelyn Tate forcing the chaos. It's a tie-up. And it's going to Michigan State.
And look at this hustle. This is what you need, right? You got to dig down, get into the mud, get the basketball. Who wants it more? It's going to be will over skill for the rest of this game. Van Sluten right here, the recipient of a nice pocket pass. And I think that's an understated skill set that you see from Julia Aralt. She has the ability at 6'2" to see the floor. Her teammates do a good job of moving without the basketball.
All right, we do have confirmation. Jocelyn Tate has 4 fouls in the game. They are going to take her out right now.
Which I think is a smart idea, even though,
again, she's been
to the chagrin of her.
Right, she doesn't want to be out. She's playing good defense.
And she was just on the ground hustling for that basketball. I mean, her motor is all the way on.
Here's Julia Aralt. It's an air ball. We'll stay with MSU. Aralt's only got 6 points. Halleck has 7. Van Sluten is the only player on either side who has double digits right now with 12. And Robin Freilich just got teed up. She's saying for what? She was sitting there, kneeling down.
We're getting some clarification. And there's still the incredulous reaction there by Robin Freilich.
I mean, I was watching Robin. Now, I couldn't tell if she was saying something under her breath, but by no means, when that tee came, was she animated or out of control. Peyton Scott hits the first free throw. Now, on the one hand, that's obviously not what you want, especially if it's going to lead to 2 points. On the other hand, this crowd just got energized.
They did not like that. And
perhaps that's something that could be a bit of a spark. So let's watch Robin Freilich on the right side. She is clearly talking to the official.
Yeah.
So it must have been something she said.
Yeah. But again, she wasn't, like you said, animated. But we'll see what that does. See what that does to the team. See if they bear down right here and try to get some consecutive stops and get them back on track offensively, literally.
That's going to be a turnover.
3 seconds down in there. Let's see if they can maximize it, right? It's one thing to get a stop. It's another thing to pay it off. You want to get consecutive possessions in your favor.
If you're just joining us, Oregon took charge right away. They scored the first 6 points of the game. They were up 11-2 early on, led by 13 after the first quarter, and Michigan State has been fighting an uphill battle ever since. But Van Sluten now has 14 points. She's facing her former team, a team she played 2 years with, was a honorable mention All Pac-12 player both years. She's trying to drag her team along as they're so good offensively, but have really struggled to find points today.
Yeah, Van Sluten's been coming off the bench as of late, only playing about 23 minutes, and Robin Freilich said, hey, it's not the minutes that she plays, it's the impact that she has in the minutes that she has earned this season, and there's no complaints by Van Sluten. She just wants to win.
Deja Kelly's 3, no, and there will be a whistle. It's going to be on the Spartans on Van Sluten. By the way, here's a look at what Van Sluten has done. Her numbers are really quite similar, but her field goal percentage is up while her minutes are down. Like you mentioned, she hasn't been starting. She's not getting as many minutes. She's basically getting the same amount of points.
Right, and maybe that's where she's flourishing, right? Her minutes down to 23 this year. Have nothing to do with how well she's shooting the ball.
Again, the crowd disagreeing with that foul call. They're letting the officials hear it, and at the same time trying to provide some boost for the home team, who's yet to lose in the Breslin Center all year.
That's what they call the Breslin Boom.
Do call it the Breslin Boom for women's games. Both teams are in the bonus as we approach the final 2 minutes of the third.
Let's see if Michigan State can dissect as well as they did on the last possession.
Farron Halleck. Shea causing chaos inside. 4 to shoot. Hampton's going to force the drive. And Shea, a whistle at the very end. That's on the freshman Inez Sotelo.
Yeah, and again, getting deep into the shot clock. Michigan State has been forced into that several times so far this evening. And give credit again to Oregon, clogging that paint. You see them trying to get downhill. They try to get right into that slot, and that slot is right in that mid-range between the foul line and the block.
Boy, that camera shot showed a lot about Michigan State. That is a team that looks like they haven't come close to playing the game they're used to playing this year.
6'8" lefty. Only a 64% shooter from the line.
Shea misses both. Struggling from the free throw line. 0 for 4. on the day.
Look at this pesky defense staying connected, going over top on those ball screens on the dribble drive.
Halleck drives, runs into Che, and has to reset.
Again, under 10 on the shot clock for the Spartans.
Hampton with 2 on the clock. This will be Simmons at the baseline. And it didn't hit rim. That's a shot clock violation.
Even though Falatea, she didn't block that shot, but she changed that shot in terms of the mechanics. I don't think Simmons would have shot that ball as high on the early lift.
We've seen countless times, especially in this third quarter, Spartans driving and then realizing they're in trouble when they run into a 6'8" post player.
Yeah, just standing there taking up spaces we spoke about earlier. They're pushing the brakes hard and then trying to find some relief.
Peyton Scott with a big shot.
She has been tremendous in this game, just a steady force of offensive production for Oregon. Now 4 of 7 from the floor. In 16 minutes of play, she's produced 11 points.
Farron Halleck's 3 is offline. She's 1 for 7 from the floor today. Again, Halleck was such a great scorer coming into this game. 68 points in the last 3 games. 3 straight times being the team leading scorer. But she has a hard time finding the bucket.
Yeah, she has. And, you know, that one I thought she may have forced just a little bit, looking for the home run because of the score. And you can't do that. You have to continue to chip away.
This Oregon defense, back-to-back teams not able to get 50 points. In fact, they've held 11 straight opponents under their season points per game average, and it's safe to say, barring, I don't know, quadruple overtime.
How about that?
That's going to happen and go to 12 today.
3 consecutive wins coming into this game for Oregon, and 4-0 in games decided by 2 points or less. So that's the strategy, and that's the guts and the force of this team.
You know, the free throws have been disappointing for Oregon. They're only 5 of 11 from the stripe, where this 17-point game could be much worse.
Absolutely. Michigan State looking to ghost that ball screen up top with Ayrault.
Ayrault with a 3. Didn't really get her feet set. That's going to be a foul on Oregon.
We like to run that action a lot for Julia Ayrault off the top. For a pick and pop or a ghost screen, it's like you're looking like you're going to set the screen, but you slip off of it without making contact on the screen. And that's what Julia Ayrault loves to work on, especially going to the left, pulling those threes. But that one was just off the mark.
Sotelo at the line. She's a 69% free throw shooter. Spartans are 6 of 7 from the stripe, so even though they have not gotten to the free throw line nearly as much as they do this season, they are shooting well once they've been there.
And Sotelo, a member of the Spanish national team, a 17-year-old squad there. Some valuable experience, even though she's young here. She has a lot of pro experience from playing overseas.
That's why she started 8 consecutive games for Robin Freilich. Heavy pressure with 1 second to go. So, the pizza and, oh, what's it like, brah? Not afraid. Not afraid of you. 15-point deficit for the home team. Spartans haven't lost at home all year long. Do they have a fourth quarter comeback?
Well, they need it, and it's got to be with this pace of play. Get it off the glass. They have 5 initiators on the court right now for Michigan State to get it and go, but they haven't been able to gain traction with the pace necessary to play the way they want to in this one.
This is the storyline we said from the very beginning as Ayrault goes inside and she's got a 3-point play opportunity. We talked about the importance of trying to get the pace going. Oregon likes it slow. Michigan State likes it fast. That has been consistent from tip-off.
Yeah, no question about it. But now Michigan State is trying to do their due diligence and get paint touches. And they have shored up their paint production. A 28-22 advantage now It was huge. Remember, it was 16-2 advantage in paint points in that first half by Oregon.
Now,
now they're closing the gap there.
If you're curious, can Michigan State score a bunch in the fourth quarter? They can. They scored 33 in the fourth against Yale, 28 in their last game they played against Michigan in just the fourth quarter alone.
No question. But the seamless offensive production, 17 assists on 22 made shots for Oregon. They have just been on a string on both sides of the floor.
Falatea will fire a three. That's 2 straight one-and-dones for Oregon. Michigan State capitalized on the first one. Here's their second opportunity. Halleck on the drive. They go to their 2 leading scorers to start off the fourth quarter, and both of them convert.
Yep, get me a stop, and then go down and get me a bucket. And they have done it right there at the rack. A 5-0 run now by the Spartans.
Muhammad finds Scott. Did she travel? No, that was a whistle.
I think she got the ball out of her hands right before she traveled. It was very close. But Theron Halleck, this is what she wants to do. A little crossover right there. Got her the space to attack that little crevice of light. Got herself a deuce the hard way. But you're going to see that more, I think, by Michigan State. They're not going to settle for the threes. I think they're going to try to be very intentional in the quarter court because they can't get it in the full court like they want to. They're going to be downhill in the quarter court then.
And maybe especially with Philly Che on the bench right now, because she's been so effective at stopping them, but she's getting a breather right now. Don't expect that to last too much longer. Boy, the free throws continue to not fall for the Ducks, and that helps the Spartans see a sense of light here. A bucket here can make it a single-digit deficit.
4 of 11 from the line this half by Oregon. And Felice, she only averages about 18 minutes a game, and she's at 16 right now. And that's why she's getting that break.
Julia Ayrault forcing the action, and more free throws coming for the team that's one of the best in the country at getting to the free throw line.
Go through her and go to her in the quarter court. Julia Ayrault wants all the smoke. She showed so much emotion this season, more so than I've ever seen from the minute she stepped on the court here at Michigan State as a freshman. She was riddled with injuries a couple of seasons ago, had that foot injury, and then last year only played about 10 minutes a contest. So this year you're seeing her in full bloom.
Julia Ayrault was in foul trouble a lot last year, and she's done a really nice job of avoiding that this year. She had 88 fouls on the season. She's got about 44 now. So it's still an issue. Anytime you're 6'2" and you're facing posts, it's going to happen. But she's been staying in games a little longer. And she is a clutch performer. Spartans are 6 of 8 from the free throw line this half. It's a 10-point deficit as we approach 8 minutes to go.
I remember Julia Ayrault as a freshman was playing more perimeter.
Right.
And then has morphed herself into just a unicorn kind of a player that plays all 5 positions on the court.
Kelly on the drive. That's on Hampton.
And Hampton put that hand up quickly so they wouldn't call it on Jocelyn Tate, who's in the vicinity.
Jocelyn Tate has 4 fouls. She's the only player in the game in foul trouble right now. She's number 11, guarding Sophia Bell.
Sophia Bell, she's taken 66 threes for the Ducks in this.
Oh, that's an opportunity for Amina Muhammad. A good look at the rim. It doesn't go, and that's another missed chance on the offensive side for Oregon. So now the Spartans can again make it a single-digit deficit. Oh, what a find by Ayrault! Hampton with the bucket. Here comes the press. Kelly Graves wants a timeout. He feels the momentum starting to grow for the home team. They are on an 8-1 run to...
And 1 assist. They're going straight to their leader. And another one who can provide a bunch of offensive intensity is Halleck. And then if you can execute and get back screens going and get everybody well connected on this well-balanced Michigan State team, that means great things can happen for your squad. But it started on the defensive end for this 8-1 fourth quarter production by the Spartans.
This is a good look from deep for Oregon, and that is the 5th possession that Oregon has had this quarter. It's led to a grand total of 1 point.
Yeah, hey, and that's what Michigan State can do to you, right? They can clamp you down on the defensive end. But then can they pay it off? And that's what we've seen here in the fourth quarter. They've been able to be intentional in terms of their execution. They're getting the screens. They're having the great spacing. You see the shooters in the corners. They also have attackers. And now here's a ball screen for Julia Ayrold up top with the nail extended.
Falatea is still on the bench, so an opportunity for the Spartans to go inside perhaps. There's Ayrold. She gets double teamed. Finds some space!
So I said she's the difference maker. Get her the basketball. Not only get her the basketball, she wants the ball at this juncture.
That foul on Halleck killed what was some growing momentum for this Spartan crowd.
Julia Ayrold has brought her A game to this fourth quarter. Really struggled finding her shot or getting touches in viable spaces to get her offense going. But not in this fourth quarter. She has put it in turbo mode.
Sarah Rambis checked in the game. She was an offensive spark for Oregon early in the game, but here's a turnover. That's Tate who forces it. MSU running. They're on a 10-1 run. Halleck inside. And Deja Kelly has it.
Well, that shot by Halleck just spun around on the lip of the rim and came right out.
Kelly, ball bopped away. It'll stay with Oregon. Kelly wanted the 5th foul on Tate.
Bodies on the deck. I mean, this game has been physical from the very beginning. But both teams getting a piece of the body. And straight line drives to the rack.
Are you surprised Falatea is still on the bench?
I am. But in terms of the minutes, right? Her average minutes is 18. Maybe they just try to keep her around that.
She's at 16 today, so that's a good point. That's Deja Kelly stopping the bleeding.
Yeah, insane in the mid-range. Deja Kelly, that's what she wants. 10 toes down to the paint, pull up. Doesn't need to take it all the way to the rack. She'll impact the game.
Got double-digit points. She started off this game with an early mid-range bucket. That was important for them. Ayrold forcing the business again. Off to the free throw line she goes.
I'd love to see it. Keep going to her and force Oregon to make some defensive changes, because every single possession in this fourth quarter she has had a part in, whether she has been the initiator in transition, whether she's been the table setter in the quarter court, making passes for her teammates, or getting set up on the block and getting herself to the line.
Ayrold, a 79% free throw shooter, was first team All Big Ten last year, a captain on this team. Misses the first. Misses the second.
And those are possessions. That's an empty possession, right? And can you get it back now? And put those clamps back on defensively.
Almost forced another turnover. Oregon's lost 16.
Cat-like quickness there by Hampton. Those quick hands and feet. Almost got another turnover.
Ooh, that's a reach-in by Ayrold on Kelly.
Michigan State likes to do that hard hedge on that dribble weave action up top. And Oregon did a good job. Deja Kelly did a good job of attacking the cross match.
That's 3 fouls on Ayrold. 1 more on Michigan State, and the Ducks will be in the bonus the rest of the fourth.
Deja Kelly trying to free herself. Michigan State had a double team on her, so she couldn't get that initial touch.
Kelly to a wide open Sophia Bell. Spartans the other way. Jaden Simmons to Halleck. It's good, and she's heading to the line.
Well, Jaden Simmons kind of got in the way, but it didn't matter. Halleck made the play right here. Look at Simmons like, oh, excuse me, let me get out of the way. And Halleck had a piece of the body by Deja Kelly for the end one.
Halleck with 9 points here.
Plenty of time for Michigan State. They got to pay it off on the line. Saw Julia Ayrault missed 2 from there a moment ago.
Alex, a 79% free throw shooter, the best for the team. This is the closest the game has been since the score was 6-2.
Here's that pressure, full court after the made free throw.
Nice job breaking it. Kelly into the paint will pop and get her own rebound. Falatea from deep, and Tate has it. Down by 5. Ayrault thought about it in rhythm.
I think it was smart. Just come down and reset your offense. Hampton right there coming off that back screen. They blew it up that time and switched it.
Ayrault again to the lane and again to the line.
That was the proper read. The same possession a couple of offensive possessions ago, but a different read. Julia Ayrault said it's chilly in here. That's a cold play by me. Put the jacket on. 4-0 going up to the line. A 1-possession game now here at home for Michigan State.
Julia Ayrault, another miss. The fight for the rebound goes to guess who? Falatea, who checks back into the game.
15-3 advantage by Michigan State here in the 4th.
The Breslin boom is alive. It's a 1-possession ball game. They go to Che right away. Ayrault. And a foul on Ayrault. That is 4. Now 4 fouls on Ayrault, 4 fouls on Tate.
It's chess, not checkers in this Big Ten battle in the paint. You know, we've seen Julia Ayrault sitting straight behind Falatea inside. And we've seen double teams come, but not that time.
Falatea is a 64% free throw shooter, but she's 0 for 4 today. 0 for 5.
6'8". Lefty Falatea.
Falatea hits her first free throw of the evening and is having such a balanced all-around game, and most of what she's done hasn't shown up in the stats. She has been hard for teams to drive on her. Here's Halleck on the rebound, blocked by Oregon, saved by Halleck. It's still MSU ball.
Well, she's just a flat-out workhorse. A flat set. They like to rise up the lane line and maybe look for a flex cut off that weak side.
Che with Tate gonna drive on her. Ooh. Puts up a tough shot, and Che uses her 6'8" frame to get the rebound.
And that was just a tough look by Tate. She got walled up inside by Falatea.
Falatea, defensive foul. Falatea grabs her left knee. That is on Jocelyn Tate, and she is done.
You see Tate right there made that slide over to the right. And she was not in defensive position to take that hit. Not in legal guarding position on that. Once the contact occurred, just 4 points for Tate. But she decided to move too late. Just to beat late on that rotation to take that charge.
Falatea at the free throw line, and losing Tate is not necessarily a problem offensively. It's defensively.
Yes.
She's number 5 in the Big Ten in steals, and they don't have her for the final 3 minutes and change.
And on the glass as well. And she's one of their better rebounders.
So it's a 6-point lead for Oregon.
You don't have to rush here, but you do have to get Oregon in rotation.
They almost lose it. Ayrault collects for a 3, and it's a 1-and-done for the Spartans.
Just has not been able to connect from 3. 1 for 5 for Julia Ayrault in this one.
Deja Kelly with a solid all-around game. 10 points, 5 assists, 6 boards. The missed shot, the ball's on the ground. It'll be a tie-up, and it's going to MSU.
Deja Kelly tried to get downhill yet again and try to get to
this year. A lot of ranked teams in the league. Michigan State belongs up there.
Yeah, I mean, UCLA holding fort with 20-0, the only undefeated team in the country right now, sitting at number 1 in the country.
Oh, what a tough drive against Che. It does not lead to points, and Oregon has it with about 2 minutes left.
And that was good execution coming out of that break. Just couldn't get that one to drop home off the window.
A bucket here would be huge for Oregon. Stretch it to a 3-possession game. No travel there.
Maybe she didn't have full possession.
Peyton Scott with a 3. Big rebound by Bell to keep it alive, and Kelly will reset.
Bell is on the deck yet again. All game long, the physicality has been the top of the list for both of these teams.
Kelly at the free throw line. Simmons has it. 90 seconds to play.
Gotta go if you're Michigan State. Quick score opportunities.
Van Sluten on Che. Che takes it away. Van Sluten was trying to get Halleck the ball. There's a collision at the top of the key, and both players go down.
Against other ranked teams, and opportunities like this one for Oregon to win on the road in conference play.
This has been a great fourth quarter comeback for Michigan State, but they're starting to run out of time. Oh, what an effort from Halleck to nearly... Oh, they did force a turnover. They said it's off Oregon.
And the whirling dervish of Halleck's effort can't be quantified. I mean, she is on goal always. Right there, shooting the gap, trying to get a piece of the basketball, and then doing enough to knock it off the leg of Scott. Yep.
Off the left leg. So Halleck immediately gets a steal at the perfect time for MSU. How do they try to score? Down 2 possessions. They go to Aralt inside. Triple teamed. Rebound Oregon.
Yeah, she was just walled up by 3 bodies down in there. That was a really tough attempt. But you knew they were going to go to Aralt down in there.
Boy, we're under a minute to play. They got to consider fouling. Not on this possession.
Nope. Trying to stay in front.
Kelly trying to provide a dagger. The bounce pass to Che. And it's a turnover. 34 seconds left. That's a reach-in foul on Scott.
Kelly Graves didn't like that one. And both teams just coming up empty on the last 6 or 7 possessions. 7 for Oregon, 6 for Michigan State.
So both teams are in the bonus. Free throws for Hampton, who's a 72% free throw shooter. 0 for 1 so far today. Tough time for missed free throws by the Spartans.
Oh, you're going to see Robin Freilich's face like we're right there. We just have to get over the line.
They are 3 of 8 from the line in the fourth quarter. That is a 5-point difference. And that is the difference. And has lost 18 turnovers this game. They've yet to score a point in the last 2.5 minutes. Falatea inbounds. Faces a double team. Throws it away. 20 seconds left. Halleck to Aralt. An open 3. The fight for the board. And it's still a fight between Che and Simmons. It's a foul on Simmons.
Well, they got the steal, but a lot of time came off that clock, right? And if there's a blitz and rotate, Hampton got it. Halleck will swing up right there to Julia Aralt in transition, who I thought was on balance, just didn't get the 3 to fall for on that one. Just a tough way to go offensively for Michigan State.
Aralt turned to Halleck and said, "My bad there." Philly Che hits another free throw.
Halleck was maybe thinking maybe I should have taken that shot, right? Just go ahead and pull.
Quite a day for Philly Che. 10 rebounds, 9 points, Such a presence inside. She will get a breather now with 13 seconds left and a 7-point lead. And she leaves the game after hitting 3 consecutive free throws. Doing it at the right time.
Well, I think Kelly Graves made 3 teams with that same conference record.
Not done yet, though. A-Roll to Hampton. Taken away. And lost out of bounds. So a couple seconds come off the clock. It's Michigan State ball again.
You have to come and meet all passes. I mean, this Oregon team, they're very disciplined in the gaps.
Alec, a long 2. And a rebound to MSU, but time is not on their side. Sotelo hits a 3. I believe the officials are checking the clock again. We've had issues with the clock throughout the day.
Yeah, take a look. There's the triple.
It's roughly 2 seconds left.
Yeah, I think it was probably 1.9.
Well, it dropped to 1-3. They moved it up to 1-6. Oregon will inbound, and that'll do it. What a win for the Ducks. This is the best